Hey guys, J19 brought to you another video, and today I'm going to discuss how I got into Final Fantasy 7. I'm going to talk about my overall feelings on FF7R, the trilogy, the re-trilogy, if you will. I will talk about a little bit about Part 1, how I feel about it, how I feel about Rebirth, and of course my expectations, my maybe my theories, what I've been hearing about leaks and rumors and word that's going around. I got some people I've been talking to, and it's starting to make a lot of sense marketing wise, so we'll get into all that as well, but I'll say that towards the end. That'll be the juicy part of the video, or the little teaser thing. I posted on my Twitter and my Discord server, so if you're on there, you probably already seen it, but if you're watching this YouTube video, so I'm gonna save that for last. But let's get right into it. Let's get right into the meat and potatoes of this. I do think that you guys probably want to know, how did I get started in FF7? What was my first experience? Did I play the original? Did I play or watch any of the compilation? The answer is yes. I played all of them. I'm a big, huge FF7 fan. It's my first ever JRPG, my first ever Final Fantasy game. Back in 1997 or 8. I know that I watched my cousin play the game, and he was at the battle arena. I'm like, what the hell is this? What does this look like? This is great. I didn't really say all that, but I was a kid. I was like, whoa, this looks pretty sick. Like, what am I seeing right now? I see monsters, I see summons, I see these, this art style. I see this character with a badass sword as Cloud, or blonde hair. I'm like, this looks sick. Like, I didn't know what the heck that was. Like, it pulled me in. I watched my cousin play that for I was like an hour or so, then he moved on to something else. But I was like curious about it. So that Christmas, it was exactly that Christmas that my parents, we had a PlayStation 1, and my parents bought Final Fantasy 7 for us for the PlayStation 1. I'm like, whoa, like is this what I'm thinking it is? Because I recognize the name of the game and stuff like that because I watched my cousin play. And me being like 7, 8 years old, I was like 7 or 8. I don't think I was 9. I was like 7, 8 years old. I'm like, holy crap, like I got this game. I'm so excited. Like we had Christmas music just playing in the background, and I had my little gaming stool and my little picture tube TV with the PlayStation 1 hooked up. What I did is I automatically put that game in, and I played it for a few hours. I was hooked. Loved it. Loved the characters. Loved the music. Loved the story. Loved the gameplay. I loved the turn-based style. It was my first ever experience with a JRPG and a Final Fantasy game. Like, that's what hooked me in. That's why I became a Final Fantasy fan. I haven't played 1 through 6. I played a little bit of 6. I played a little bit of 1 and 2. I didn't beat those. Then I moved on to 8, and I moved on to, and then by the time 9 came around, 10 was like the big blockbuster Final Fantasy game. And we had a PlayStation 2, and like, I want to get that, I want to get that, I want to get that. I want to get that Final Fantasy. So this is where I am now. Let's get right into remake. Did I watch E3 2015? No. Did I see the tech demo from the Final Fantasy 7 intro for the PlayStation 3? Yes. And I was hooked. I was like, what? Does this mean they're making a remake of FF7? Is this really gonna happen? Are you kidding me? And I was just like so mind blown by what was going on. Like I was just so excited, and to come to find out it wasn't the case, right? It wasn't the case at all. I was just so like, what? Like they're not doing it? Like, man, what a missed opportunity. And then E3 2015 came around. I didn't really get a chance to watch it, right? I didn't get a chance to watch it live. I didn't know. I wasn't really into like the gaming industry and like understanding like gaming events and stuff like that. I just saw on a YouTube video of the Final Fantasy 7 intro tech demo for PlayStation 3. I'm like, holy crap. So after E3 came out, PlayStation had their big old PlayStation showcase there, or whatever they called it at the time. Then I started seeing a video. I'm like, wait, what? Like people like talking about FF7 remake. I'm like, wait, what? So I saw the trailer for PlayStation, posted it, and I watched it, and I was like, no freaking way this is happening. Like, no freaking way, dude, that this was happening. Like, that they're seriously gonna make FF7 remake. I was like flipping out, like you guys were, and of course I waited and waited and waited, and then finally like May of 2019, and then June we finally got to see a re-review of the game and the new art, the new direction. I'm like, this looks so sick. I can't wait. I was skeptical of the battle. Don't get me wrong. Like I thought it was gonna be turn-based. I was like, is this really gonna be for me? Am I gonna really like this? Am I gonna enjoy any of this stuff? You know? Am I gonna enjoy this combat system that you see on the screen? Like, yes, this is Rebirth. I'll get to it about how I feel about the upgraded version of the combat system. But I was sitting there going, man, I don't know if I'm already. This looks cool and all. It looks so sick, so cinematic. But I'm thinking to myself, what are we gonna do? What am I gonna like? Hope we get this demo soon. I watched Maximum do videos. I watched a lot of people that played it behind the scenes at Square Enix booth and E3. I'm like, man, this sounds so sick. Like, it sounds like the characters are how I remember them and stuff like that. Like, it is so amazing, dude. So amazing how they have it set up like that. Like, I was like, holy crap, like this sounds so sick, so too good to be true. Then after some marketing of trailers and being just mind blown and hoping to get my hands on the combat, because I want to test it out myself. And every single media piece, trailers, not reviews, like previews and hands-on, and like giving us like sneak peeks of boss fights and music, and just like this is a lifetime come true. I couldn't believe my eyes. And fast forward, demo comes out, dude. When that demo came out, I played in every single difficulty possible, like different, like normal, easy, classic mode. I want to try it all. And I'll tell you what, I played that demo 12 times before the game released. And guess what? Fell in love with it. Loved it. I'm like, this is a great combat system. I was rushing through the demo. I was beating up the Scorpion Sentinel, the Scorpion robot boss fairly handily. I was like, man, I can't wait for the rest of the game. I can't wait for the game to come out. Because at the time the demo came out, it got delayed 5 weeks. I'm like, no, we were so close. We was like 60 days away. Now we're like almost 90 days away again. It's like, oh, it breaks my heart. But man, remake. I try to stay out. I try to get the my physical copy. Well, of course, with the stuff going on in the world in 2020, it was extremely hard for me to get my physical copy. So I had to get it digitally, which I didn't mind. I had money back then, and I was like so mind blown by how everything looked. I was like, man, how can we get it where it's like, I hope I can stay awake. Because people was like, stay awake, man. Like, stay awake till midnight to play. I was getting so tired. I had a long day. I'm like, I'm trying to, but my eyes are heavy. And what's funny is, game downloaded. I was able to play it for like an hour. I got to chapter 2, and I was like, all right, I gotta get some sleep. I got through the demo portion. I gotta get some sleep. And I tell you what, the rest of the remake blew my freaking mind. The characters are insane. The characters are like how I remember them as a kid. I got to chapter 3 and I was just gushing over just like, hey, I am in the slums with Tifa. I'm in the slums. Just looking at the world, looking at things that like how is this game possible? And the main theme comes on. It's like I'm just sitting here just gushing, like I just can't believe this game is real. And just like as I progress in the game, it's like I remember this part, and wow, they expanded this. Like we got new stuff with Jesse and Biggs and Wedge, and finding out more about them, and seeing like Jesse's parents for the first time. and meeting Roche for the first time, being a new character, seeing Johnny, stuff like that. So it's like, it's really crazy, like, that remake actually lived up to my expectations, despite some things, like, I didn't really appreciate. Like, I treated the second time in the sewers in chapter 14 as like, okay, we're just grinding the levels, we're just, we're helping him out, and we're just gonna finally get on with chapter 15, which is gonna be the whole thing with, like, the, climbing over the wall and seeing the destruction of chapter 7 and stuff like that. It's so sick. It's so amazing that we got to the point where we are seeing remake. We are seeing it play along, and we got to the Shenmue headquarters and just seeing how everything played out. You saw all the Shenmue executives, and you're seeing freaking boss fights from like Genova and the sample, the H something sample, right? That one hideous looking boss. It looks like a Resident Evil boss, and I'm like, how is this so possible? And you're seeing nods and reference of like Crisis Core and whatnot. I'm like sitting here going, how in the hell is this possible? Like, it's just like, it blew me away. And I know we get to the ending. Like, we got to the edge of the highway. I'm like, where's this gonna go? Right? And Sephiroth shows up, and you gotta fight the Harbingers, and you're fighting fate, destiny. You're trying to fix things. You don't want it to go the way it's gonna go, and Sephiroth wants you to like defy destiny with him, and Cloud denies him, and you see Zack, and you see like all this happening. It's like, whoa, like, what are they doing? Like, this has me intrigued. This has me peaked. Like, everything else in the game was like fantastic, and the level design was pretty good. I mean, it has some hidden loading and walking segments, and the level design is not really the best. Like, some of the dungeons could be a lot better, but I'm just sitting here to myself and like, whoa, like man on the screen's like, wait, what? Like, what's going on? Like, it said the unknown journey will continue, and then we had to wait for part 2. I'm like, so how long is part 2 gonna take? It took them like, 2015 to like 2020, 2019, and we finally got the game in 2020. And I'm like, is this gonna take another like 4 to 5, 6 years? And then 2021 came out, and then in February we got that State of Play, and it says, here's an update on one of the big games of 2020, and it's like, and it's showing off remake again on PlayStation 5, and I was like, wait, what? I got my PlayStation 5, I get to play this again? It's like 60 FPS mode, and then they tease Yuffie DLC. I'm like, whoa, this is cool, this is so sick. We get to play as Yuffie, and man, it just blew my freaking mind that we get to play as Yuffie, and it's coming out like that year in like June. Like, it's like the day before Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart came out, and like I was super excited to play that. Like, I was just so excited that Yuffie is coming out, and you play that, and you get introduced to Fort Condor minigame, which the original was fun. I appreciate it, but it's like, it wasn't the greatest minigame of all time. But what they did in that minigame was insane. It was super sick. I was like, this is fun. This is, I'm kicking butt, taking names. I took down the Grand Master, which is Chadley. A lot of people don't like Chadley. A lot of people don't like him. He's annoying. I thought, he's a little bit, but the stuff he offers you, like fighting summons and getting materia and stuff like that, I was like, wow, this is super sick. You get to fight him. I got that completed. Then you move on. You guys already know the story of Yuffie's DLC. You get introduced to Deep Ground. Nero shows up. Weiss is there, or Weiss, however you want to pronounce it. And it's like, what the heck's going on? Like, we're getting Deep Ground stuff from Dirge of Cerberus. Like, yes, I did play Dirge of Cerberus as a teenager. I watched Advent Children as a teenager. Loved them, even though Dirge of Cerberus now is like, if you ever want to touch that game again, they gotta like redo it. They gotta remake it and make it a lot better. But to get back on track, I just like, no way they got Weiss and Nero and just like Remake. Like Remake had freaking Kunzo. It's not Kunzo, but a reference of him. Like Cloud meets up with these two troopers. Like, holy crap! Like, Cloud, is that you? Like hold on, man. It's good to see you. I thought you died, and reports news said you died. Like, hold on, let me go get Kunzo. I'm like, whoa, this is so sick. So like, for me, Remake was like one of those games, like, it just blew my mind with the Yuffie DLC, and just like, then you get to fight Nero, and like, of course what happens is Sona, you get introduced to him, and like, just teasing what the synergy is gonna be all about in part 2. Is like, they talked about it, and I was like, I get the end of that, and you're seeing like the cutscene with the party, they're making their way across Midgard, the wasteland, and they get picked up by Chocobo Bill, and they're teasing like the Chocobo farm, and they're teasing like they're on the way to Calm, and like, and just showing Calm in the distance, and like, man, what a way to like cut that off. But it kept going, and after that, and it cut right to like the Sector 5 church, and you're sitting there go, wait, what's going on? And Zack shows up, and he's trying to talk himself into how he's gonna say, hi, Aerith, it's been a while, and it's like, what the heck's going on with that? And it set up some stuff. It's like, what in the world are you gonna do? Like, Aerith doesn't show up, and there's a bunch of crying children there, which makes a lot of sense now, because Rebirth has Zack's stuff in there as well. And I'm like thinking to myself, it's like, what in the world are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? Like, this is crazy. This is like unexpected. Like, what are they doing, man? It's like, this is weird. This is wild. This is crazy. It's just like, you're thinking to yourself, it's like, what am I going to do with all of this? It's like, man, it's like, then we get the announcement in 2022. They're saying, hey, we're going to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII. They talked about, so we got the little teaser with Ever Crisis and First Soldier with that, with the same announcement of Yuffie DLC. And it's like, wait, what? And 22 comes around. We didn't get anything for the 25th anniversary stream, per se. I mean, anniversary FF7. But it's like, they gotta show something for part 2. Like, it's been a couple years. It's been a couple years, and like, at least give us like a title shot, give us a title reveal. What are we gonna do here? And then July comes around, or June or July, I don't remember when. We had that 25th anniversary, and they showed off like everything. Like, they show off like celebration of like FF7 OG and Advent Trojan, Dirge of Cerberus, and Crisis Core, and everybody's losing their minds. Like, are we getting like remasters or remakes of these games or something? Like, what in the world's going on? And they showed off like merchandises, and everybody's like losing their minds. Like, he's gotta show us something good. Like, where's the good stuff at? They show off like Ever Crisis. That looks interesting. Like, you're gonna tell like the whole compilation and chapters. Like, that's like insane. Like, chibi models is like, wait, what is this? Like, what's going on here? And you're sitting there going, what else are gonna show us? And then Crisis Core comes on the screen, and it looks different. It looks like a little bit better, and like, of course, the voice acting, the animations are still the same, but it's like, this looks pretty clean. They showed off a little bit of combat. It looks a little more smoother. It looks a little better, and it says like coming out this winter. It's like, wait, what? Like, we're getting a Crisis Core reunion, like a remaster coming out? Like, what are you doing, Square? And then Katase is like, we got one more thing to show you, and it's a teaser trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. You guys already know what it is. Cloud and Sephiroth are walking through the field. You see a little bit like Cloud and like Zack's carrying Cloud across the wasteland. And it's just like a bunch of dialogue. It's like, what is real, what is fiction, what is Sephiroth's end game, what's his end goal. And he talks, and Cloud's like talking about like Genova and stuff like that. It's just crazy. And it says like next winter, and people's like, holy crap. Including myself was like, next winter? That's so soon. That's like a year from now. And man, it's just the whole process leading up to Rebirth, like waiting for a trailer to drop. And then we get the little subtle hints. So like the developers drop like 7 days in a row, like their little quotes about part 2 and what they can't wait to show, what they want to talk about or cover. And you think to yourself, it's like, whoa, that's kind of neat, that's kind of sick. But leading up to Summer Games Fest, which is 7 days away. Every day we got something, and the day of Summer Games Fest, we got that final one that said, we're planning on sharing news soon, like new information soon. And everybody's like, it's got to be at Summer Games Fest. And Jeff Keighley is like teasing stuff, and he's like, no. He goes, no, don't get too excited. And we finally got it. We got the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth gameplay trailer. And I was like mind blown. I was like, no way, this looks so sick. It's like, wait, what? Like, and then they showed like the release windows, like, what do they say, like early 2024, right? And on 2 discs, and it's like 2 discs. It's like, this thing's gonna be huge on PlayStation 5. Like, you didn't have 2 disc games then, and back in 2023, right? It got shown off at Summer Games, so I had to keep my schedule up. But anyways, all the marketing, everything leading up to us, freaking the hell out. And I didn't watch the lab launch trailer. I knew better. Saw 10-second clips. Like, no. Rebirth to me was one that's like, this is where they can just really show us what their game plan is for the open world part. Because once you leave Midgar, it's super, super big. And I'm like, holy crap, man. Like, look at the scenery here, look how big this looks. And it's like, I was totally blown away. Right? Super blown away. I'm thinking to myself, like, no way this is real. No way this is happening. And I saw the state of play, and I was like, this is too much. Like, holy crap, they're showing us a lot. This trailer's too much. Like, I'm losing my mind here. I'm like, just freaking out like a fanboy. Then Rebirth demo comes out, and it's like, I gotta play it. I'll play that. And then they announced like the demo for like a small portion of Junon region. I was like, no way, they're giving us a second demo, like portion, like an add-on. Like, this is so sick. This is insane, dude. Like, how are they able to do all this? This is freaking crazy, bro. Like. And then so I played it, I was so mind blown, like the flashbacks and just like the new combat system of Cloud, and Cloud is the badass now, like stuff you can do in the air, and like it just makes you realize like they are expanding upon stuff, and you get the synergy abilities with everybody, and it's like you pull off some cinematic stuff with Sephiroth, you get to play as Sephiroth, like they shock you with that. And it's like, no way we're playing as Sephiroth. Like, it was teased and rumored, but it's like, no way, dude. Like, there's no way we're playing as Sephiroth, and we did. And it's like super sick, super amazing. And I'm thinking to myself, like, there is no freaking way, dude, that we are like this, right? We're playing a demo, and the game comes out, and you play the demo again. And of course, I skipped this. I want to see what's next. I was such a hurry. I didn't replay the demo portion. But man, that game, when I opened up to the grasslands for the first time, and you saw the cutscene, you was able to explore, I completely lost it. I was gushing. I was like, I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe what I was playing. I couldn't believe, like, this is the world that they created here with these wonderful, beloved characters. And it's like, how is this possible? How is this freaking real, dude? Like, and you get to you do a few things, you unlock more stuff to do in the world, and you go to your first light spring spot. You hear the light spring music, the Mako music go off, and I just sat there. I'm like, what a magical ride! What a magical ride this game is. And I was just like, I was almost in tears. I think I did get a little choked up. Dude, throughout this whole process of Rebirth, just seeing all the characters and seeing Kate Sith and seeing Yuffie again and playing as Red 13 for crying out loud, like just exploring this world and seeing everything about it, the NPCs, the world of Chocobo Farm and the Ghost Saucer and all these mini games, and like the stories like teasing stuff, like Cloud is losing his mind, and him and Tifa have fights. Like the first time they fought, I was heartstruck, man. I was like emotional. It's like these characters are so good. Like these devs know what these characters are and what we dreamed of these characters sounding like. And like the little subtle teases like Red 13 showing more of himself to like Aerith, and like what's his voice coming from? Why is it just Aerith and Red 13's like who's she talking to? Is she talking to somebody in the live stream or something, or what? And it's just like Costa del Sol and the ship. We got on the cargo ship, which is a cruise ship now, and the music there just blew my mind. I was just so lost in the game. I sat there listening to it, and I just say, how is this real? And even chapter 4 with the whole like upper Junon, under Junon, like everything, like Crow's Nest, just the world, the regions, the music, the combat, the characters. It's such a magical freaking ride, man. If you play Rebirth, like those of you that haven't, I hope you guys get a chance to play. If you're watching this video and you guys say, hey, how's Rebirth? Is it worth it? It is 1,000% worth it. Is there a lot of side content to do, and they just throw everything out in your face? Yeah, they do. But it's rewarding when you do it. You get free material. You get to fight summons, and you get summons from Chadley, and it's just like you get different dialogues with characters, and it helps them grow and bond with each other. And like there's a section in Junon. You do it's just a simple little go take this bag of money to my son because his wife is in labor, his girlfriend's in labor, or she's pregnant, and just like don't hurt my dog. Make sure my dog don't get hurt on the way there. He's gonna take the money. It's an escort mission. But the music, man, and on top of that, the combat, and then you got Barrett like talking to Cloud about his kid and worrying about being a father and about letting her go when she grows up, and he doesn't want to like be one of them that clings too hard to her when she grows up, and Marlene grows up and be herself and goes off, and he doesn't want to be that type of parent, and he just goes on, and Cloud talks his backstory about the 2000 Gil and about his mom, and like he left to go like join Shinra, and it's just like it's such a heartfelt thing. You get awarded for it at the end because it allows you to access a different area, a different small little town, outpost, and it's like, dude, the characters here are phenomenal, right? So like you go through each of these towns, these regions, you got different music, different things to do. A lot of it's still the same. You're looking for towers, you're looking for Chocobo, doing the Chocobo mini game, you're doing like these fights, and you get a big boss fight for each region. It's a little more repetitive, but it's fun, right? You love to explore the world. You love to be with these characters, level up, grind a little bit, fight these bosses that come out in each region. It's like, this is great, this is fantastic, and learn more about like the summons lore of each region, like Phoenix and Titan and Ramu, and not Ramu, but Kujata and Bahamut and stuff like that. It's like, whoa, this is super sick, super amazing stuff. And I was like, how is this possible? And so you get to the story starts really going nuts, and it's like beat for beat. You see a lot of the same story beats and stuff like that. And I was just sitting there going, how is this possible? Like they just keep hitting stuff with like nostalgia, and also like introducing like fresh ideas, fresh like reimagining, if you will. And it's just like, how's this game even like real? It's such a magical ride. And do I have some issues with it? Yeah, I think the terrain action could be smoothed out a little bit. Do I think that we could get, hopefully not be locked up in the VR missions all the time, VR fights, and do like Sephiroth and stuff like that? Yeah, I would love to see stuff of that nature. So, and I would love to see what's going to happen with all that, right? And just see like, and even like the card game, man. Like the card game is super sick to the point where it's like, whoa, like Queen's Blood, like what the hell is this? Like this is fun. Like I struggled with it for a while. I even had to come back later, but I'm like, this is amazing, dude. Like, this ended up being one of my favorite mini games of all time. Yeah, do I like Blitzball and Final Fantasy X a lot more? Yeah, absolutely. But I still think Queen's Blood is like up there. It can be 1A, 1B with Queen's Blood, not Queen's Blood, but Blitzball. And a lot of people don't like Blitzball, and I understand that. But I loved it. I was dominant. I was undefeated a lot. It's just, I have fun. Queen's Blood is so freaking good. If you guys are watching this, of course, you guys want to see this card game, here it is right here. I think it's a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it too, especially those on the Switch 2 and Xbox. It's coming out, what, 6 days from now, which is pretty nuts to think about. Yeah, I think overall this game is great. There's some story stuff, like especially towards the end. I'm not gonna spoil the ending in this. Let's just say I'm not quite sure how I feel like about the direction. There's some things I'm kind of like, they could be a lot better. Like, why would they go this route? But I'm still on board because they got a plan. They need to play the trilogy to really understand what's going on, right? To understand what's the final direction. Because even Hamaguchi has stated that we ain't gonna know all the answers of why they did what they did until the very end of part 3. They want everybody to play part 3 to get to the finale and all the answers we need about all the new directions, all the new stuff, even like some of the changes they made. Why did they make that? Why is this happening? That's why I'm so hyped for part 3. And that's why I think I'm glad they didn't doing a DLC for Rebirth. I kind of wanted it to help us keep us busy. But there's so many games out there. I got a backlog that's going to be insane. I do think that we do need to see the game, and I've been making videos about it now, and I've been posting online. I'm very 1,000% confident we're going to see part 3 next week. Like I said, it could be at State of Play, it could be at Summer Games Fest, and people's like, why would it show up there if they're trying to get Rebirth out for Switch 2? It's like, you got to keep everybody interested. Like, yeah, Xbox and Switch 2 users are finally get their hands on part 2, on Rebirth. But it's like, they need to know the direction. Like, okay, I know it's a part 3, but I would love to see it. So that way I got that back in my mind and said, okay, I play Rebirth. Now I got Final Fantasy 7 something to look forward to in like a year and like 7 to 10 months. Is Hamaguchi has said that they're not going to wait very long for the Switch, like especially Switch 2 users, like for them to wait, or Xbox users too. To go from like remake to Rebirth was like what, January to June, and then they want to make sure they keep that same formula for like for Rebirth, the part 3 release for those consoles as well. They're not going to make them wait a long time. However, I still think that things can change. He's done these interviews like weeks and months ago. However, the things I'm hearing now, this is why I want to save this towards the end of the video, and I want to talk about part 3 a little bit before I end this video here, is the fact that we are going to see part 3. That's not changing. We're going to see a trailer next week, but I think it's going to be a State of Play, and here's why. Because Hamaguchi has stated that they are right now trying to figure out not their marketing plan, but like what's the release plans for part 3. Because what's best for the finale? What's the best way to go about it? I think what's going on here, and what I'm hearing from and seeing from some people I'm talking to that have an idea about the game industry. They got some people they talk to that has kind of inside reports and what they're hearing on their end is, yeah, Square keeps saying Hamaguchi and Nomura and everybody says, hey, the development is on pace, it's going smoothly, which I think it is. The game's coming out. But with their fiscal year reports, and I cover this on my channel, that yeah, I think part 3 is going to be part of that, because Evercode is only going to cover like maybe half of that. Who's going to cover the other half of their fiscal year, right? Merchandise, maybe. Merchandise takes a chunk. older titles maybe take a chunk. But what about the other big, like, I don't know, what about like that size, right? About like a third, maybe not a third, maybe a quarter, maybe a fifth of that, right? Something big has to come out and cover that. It ain't Dragon Quest 12. We saw that yesterday. They had to restart development. They showed us a few screenshots, a trailer of the main character running around. No combat. So that game is years off. Kingdom Hearts 4. Nomura has stated that they got some special plan for the 25th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts, which is next year. So we're not going to see any of that till then. So what's the game that's going to have to cover for the rest of this physical year? Unless they got something big planned, unless they figure Final Fantasy 14 is going to take all the budget, right? Like 80% of the budget, and they're just going to rely on that for the rest of the year. That doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm not saying Final Fantasy 14 is that big of a deal. I'm not saying it ain't, right? It's a big deal. It's their biggest revenue hauler, right? It brings in revenue a lot, especially when a new expansion comes out. I get that. But I don't see that covering like 300 billion yen or the other 180 billion yen that they're trying to cover. Like 14 is going to cover one half. Who's covering the other half other than merchandise, the sales of older titles and stuff like that? You need something that's going to come out. And that's why you got to thinking, it's like, with everything going on with the wording and the words that are going around and things I'm hearing and seeing, that because of Square needs the extra like push, like to get things across the finish line. I do think and I do agree that what I'm hearing and seeing could be true, that we are going to see Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 maybe released on PlayStation first. Or at least being marketed. Let Sony have marketing, the marketing rights, because they started with PlayStation with the Remake Trilogy. At least they might, if they do to release it earlier than the Switch 2 and Xbox version, or even PC, I can see that happening, because apparently there's reports out there that Square, even though it's going smoothly, they're still going to hit their marketing goals and their launch goals, deadlines. But what I'm hearing and been talking to some people, what they're hearing is Square need the extra push. They need the extra funding to get across the finish line. And looks like PlayStation might be the one that helped, because they've been helping fund the other two games. So it makes a lot of sense why we got to talking. State of Play makes the most sense. You get the review there. PlayStation gets some marketing rights for it. Because, yeah, it could show up at Summer Games Fest. Don't get me wrong. Jeff Keighley, Square Enix do have a wonderful business relationship. They've shown a lot of trailers there. But I think the review is going to happen at the State of Play. More eyes are going to be on the State of Play. Why? Because PlayStation is hyping the crap out of State of Play like almost 2 weeks in advance. Or there's a lot of reports going around that it's going to be a lot of heavy hitting titles. PlayStation Studios going to be there. Top studios around the world. We're going to see Wolverine kick this whole thing off. State of Play is going to be like between 60 to like 90 minutes long. So like it's going to be a long showcase. Even if Wolverine takes up like 20-25 minutes, you're still talking about like 35-40 plus minutes of game announcements. Like, they're not going to talk a lot. They're going to have some developers on there talking, but I just don't see them like not showing like a lot of games, right? And a lot of people think it's just going to be Wolverine, that's it. No, or just PlayStation Studios. No, it's top studios around the world. Square Enix is one of them. And if the word is right, if the reports out there is right on my end, what I'm hearing and seeing, that we could possibly see Sony have the marketing rights. We're going to see at the State of Play. And as far as I'm hearing too is Square is actually fine-tuning a trailer right now, or probably have it done now. It's only got 5 days left, right? Till the State of Play. It's going to be more of a teaser. But I know, teasers scare the crap out of people because you don't see a whole lot. But here's the thing. This teaser trailer, from what I'm gathering, It's gonna be jam packed. It's gonna have a lot of things set in motion as they get the hype train rolling, get people talking. It's not just a title card drop. It's not just, oh, here's a couple of dialogues and that's it. And like a minute and a half, 2 minutes long. I think 2 minutes is probably the grace period of a teaser, right? Teaser trailers are usually about a minute and a half, 30 seconds to like a minute and a half to like 2 minutes long. If it's anything past 2.5 minutes, it's a juicy trailer, right? It's the official trailer. It's just a teaser trailer, so a minute and a half, 2 minutes, but it's gonna be jam-packed with some exciting stuff to get us talking, and that's what I'm hearing so far. And so instead of just saying, hey, the game's not gonna be revealed next week at all from a lot of people, now it's looking like what been saying for a while. We are 1,000% gonna see part 3 at next week, and as early as 5 days from now. So 5 days from this video dropping, so I'm dropping this video today, you guys are gonna see part 3 trailer at State of Play. If it doesn't show up, then those reports of mine were like, from the people I got it from, are just like, hey, that's what they're hearing. It definitely could happen. I think it's gonna happen. I think we are gonna see it at the State of Play. If it doesn't, Summer Games Fest is right there. We're still gonna see the trailer no matter what at next week. But my newest reports, my newest things I'm hearing and seeing is the State of Play is the absolute place we're gonna see it. We're gonna see a jam-packed teaser trailer. We're gonna see a title card by a release window. I don't think we're gonna get a release date yet, because if the game doesn't drop in till like February to like April, you still got like 8 to like 10, 11 months of marketing to go. Not, I wouldn't say 11, but like 8 to about 10 months of marketing. That's enough time for release dates, pre-orders, gameplay reviews, all that wonderful jazz. They got State of Play, Summer Games Fest, one of those two. They got the Gamescom. They can show off another trailer. They can show off another trailer at Tokyo Game Show, maybe at another State of Play. Especially if PlayStation has another marketing, right? They have another marketing deal with Square. We can definitely see that at a State of Play. Now, granted, just because Sony has marketing rights, it might not be time for the PlayStation 5. It could be. That's still possibly still there, especially with that comment made by Hamaguchi about figuring out what's best for the release plans for part 3. What's best for the finale, right? They still gotta figure that out. So if that's the case, then maybe PlayStation comes out on PlayStation first for a short bit, and maybe as Square's is fine-tuning their optimization for the Switch 2 and Xbox Series S especially, and they might have to hold off on that for like a couple of months and that releases. But hey, it might release on everything. Just because PlayStation markets the game first or has that State of Play, it does not mean that we can't see it at the State of Play, right? Even Summer Games Fest. I mean, shoot, we're still 8 days away, right? 5 or 8 days away from seeing this game. I'm super excited, super hyped. What do I want to see in this trailer? I want to see like maybe just a quick glimpse of like the world, maybe a quick glimpse of like the Highwind flying. I want to see characters roam around in it. I want to see maybe a snippet of gameplay, maybe just a tiny bit. I do want to see Vincent and Sid. I want to see maybe they show off like Icicle Inn. Maybe they show off like the snowy region that we're gonna be in. That one of my favorite spots is snowy regions in games, snowy environments. That's one thing I'm super excited about. So that's why I think they can show that off. Some interesting dialogue. I do think we might see like maybe a little glimpse of a weapon. Maybe the Northern Cavern. Maybe we'll see Wu-Tai. Maybe we'll see Rocket Town. Just a sneak peek. Maybe clouds run around those cities, in those regions. Have the Highwind Takes to the Skies, right? Takes to the Skies Highwind theme playing in the background. Might hear a little bit of Wu-Tai. Might hear Rocket Town's theme. They could do a lot. in a jam-packed minute and a half, 2 minutes. Like, people think a minute and a half trailer is not that long. If it's showing the same stuff like Rebirth did, like Cloud and Sapphire just walking slowly and just had dialogue playing in the background, yeah, that you can tell that's like, that was great. That blew our minds. But jam-packed trailer shows tells me that they're gonna tease some stuff. They're gonna show off some stuff, just small teases, small glimpses. They get us talking, to break down this trailer, to talk to our friends, have social media back and forth about what we like, what we didn't like, what we saw, what I didn't see. Somebody else might have found some stuff in the game, right? We might see stuff like that. Like, I don't know. We might see a lot of teases and stuff like that. Shoot, we might even see Zach, right? Maybe we might see Zach in this trailer. We don't know. I still think we're gonna see a bunch like small snippets of things just to get us talking. They're not gonna show a whole lot. They're gonna show like a 30-second clip of Wu Tai and a 30-second like clip of like Rocket Town, stuff like that. But it's gonna be like, it's almost gonna be like the, what was that trailer? It wasn't Summer Games Fest gameplay trailer for Rebirth. It was the, was that Tokyo Game Show trailer? Something like that. We had that trailer where it showed a bunch of like Cloud like run around like Cosmo Canyon and Nibelheim, stuff like that. Just quick snippets. Like, we're gonna see stuff like that. Maybe just small teases like a weapon. Maybe Sid and Vincent like with the party. Even though they were in the party in Rebirth. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see like the high wind, the live stream sequence, Cloud's art unfolding. There's a lot of stuff they could tease. They can tease some stuff about Cloud's arc. Maybe his dialogue changes a little bit, and you'd be like, hey, that sounds like Cody Christian voicing Cloud, but what in the world? Wait, what does this mean? Especially for new players, right? This is the meat and potatoes of FF7. Disc 2 and Disc 3, especially Disc 2, like, there's a lot of content to cover, and like, I don't know how they're going to cover all part 3. Like, it's going to be such a big game. For them to get like the game in complete form and they're in the final polishing phase and optimization like already, like, yeah, this is gonna be insane, and I can't wait. Like, we haven't seen anything about the voice actors doing voice work lately, especially Cody Christian and them. I think they're about done, or at least they are done, so that's great news. They're just in the optimization and finish touches on the game, and the marketing for part 3 is gonna go nuts. I could be wrong. You know, maybe it will show up at Summer Games Fest and we get a big juicy trailer. You know, if everything I'm hearing and seeing is wrong, and my earlier videos is right about we're gonna get a juicy trailer, like 3 to 4 minutes, and it's gonna have like a release window at least, showing us like, hey, it's coming out like early 2027. Like, I can't wait. Even if it's at Summer Games Fest, I just cannot wait, dude. I can't wait. And so overall, my overall feeling on this Final Fantasy VII Remake Trilogy, it's been a magical ride. It's been 10 plus years. It's been even longer waiting for it since like I wanted to remake back into like the tech demo of the PlayStation 3. So you're talking, what, 20 years ago? Like, I wasn't thinking about remake after I beat Final Fantasy VII. But watching Advent Children and like Dirge, playing Dirge Cerberus and stuff, and seeing the visuals back as a teenager, I'm like, whoa, imagine what a remake would look. So yeah, it could be like 21 years in the making. And we're finally here. We're finally gonna get part 3 stuff next week. I'm super excited. Square is keeping that trailer tight to their chest. They don't want to reveal anything. They want anything leaked. But small little snippets of what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, and seeing what Hamaguchi has to say. Next week, be ready. Either State of Play in 5 days or Summer Games Fest in 8 days. We got Rebirth launching on June 3rd in 6 days. And guess what, guys? The marketing, the floodgates marketing for part 3 is about to be open, and we're not going to be able to contain it. The emotion's gonna flare up. The emotion's gonna run through high. We're gonna get emotionally wrecked. We're gonna get just super hype, super excited, super stoked. But I think at the end of this, when this marketing starts getting going, it's gonna hit us hard knowing that this is it. this is it for the trilogy. This saga's done. We might get a DLC, a story thing afterwards if the demand's high. I think it will happen, but other than that, this trilogy is done, guys. Like, once part 3 marketing starts and we realize that this is it, like, what a ride, what a journey. Anyways, that's my expectations for part 3. I do expect a lot of the big major things to happen, like the weapons awakening, the real Sephiroth, the real Cloud, the live stream street sequence, chasing after the huge materia, stopping Shinra, all that good stuff. All that big, massive stuff is going to happen. The Wutai Shinra war that still has to happen. Like, I am just super excited, and my expectations for part 3 is through the roof. Through the roof. I'm super 1000% confident we have seen part 3 next week, and I can't wait to like break it down, watch the trailer. I might even go live and watch the trailer together. Because I ain't gonna be able to watch it live. Unfortunately, I'm gonna see if I can watch it in the main living room with my uncle. Is I can't, I'll be busy eating and spend time with family. I always do that about 5-6 o'clock at night, and it's wrong time, guys. I like to see them have it where we get these events like earlier in the day, maybe like 1 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That'd be perfect. Or even like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. Just have it go on for a couple hours. Like, they could do that. Right. 5 o'clock, I'm not sure why they chose 5 p.m. Maybe it's just like a perfect time for everybody across the world. Except for those are like way across, and like they're like 7, 8, 10 hours ahead or more. That'd be perfectly hard for them, like, stay awake and watch the event live with us in North America, but I get it. But anyways, with that said, I'm gonna leave it here. I've been chit-chatting your ear off for a while, and you guys can tell I'm super excited. I'm a big FF7 fan. I still have my FF7 books I need to read. I know, I'm sorry, but I've been busy, especially now with summer's here, and we're just super excited about stuff. So with that said, let me know what you guys think of the Final Fantasy VII Remake Trilogy. Was it your first exposure to FF7? And a lot of you guys played Smash Brothers, and that's how you learned about Cloud and Sephiroth. A lot of you came from like the FF7 OG like me, and some of you guys have played like Dirge of Cerberus or even watched Advent Children as your first exposure. Love to see what you guys have to say. Like, when did you get involved in FF7? How do you feel about FF7R Trilogy so far? Are you guys on this magical ride with me? Like, I would love to see what your hype levels are. I am through the roof. I cannot wait. I'm super excited. And with that said, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Be safe out there. Be nice to each other. Let's get hype. Let's get excited. 5 to 8 days away, we're going to see part 3, and we can finally stop calling it part 3. And with that said, be safe out there. Be nice to each other. Have a wonderful day, wonderful night. Keep on keeping on. Links in the description below, my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord. You guys know what to do, and I appreciate you guys all the love and support in this wonderful community we're building up. I just hit over 1,600 followers on Twitter/X. YouTube is about 330. I love to see if we can hit 1K, especially with all the hype we got. If you guys are hyped for part 3, let me know. Subscribe, hit the bell notification, stay notified when I upload. And man, I'm just like super excited about what they're gonna show. I can't wait. And with that said, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.